Let's talk about Hasan. Because a bunch of crazy stuff has been happening with Hasan. I tried to skip a day, and too much happened, man. I shouldn't have skipped. Now I can't cover it all. I'm gonna miss some things. But here's a bunch of it from More Pegasus.
Welcome back to a series so electric, even Jolty unsubscribed. In today's video, Hasan is calling out everybody for apparently being fooled by the shock collar situation. Hasan's community is losing their minds at Ludwig for calling out Hasan.
Yeah, just like we said was gonna happen to anybody who's friends with Hasan that just decides to say something against Hasan. The entire Hasan community goes after that person. And now we're seeing it with Ludwig. It's crazy.
They're harassing QT Cinderella for daring to mention Asmongold's streamer show. Ethan has responded
and this is why everybody was afraid to say anything about Hasan.
To several clips about Collargate and is defending QT and Ludwig from the harassment. Asmon has responded talking about his experience with Hasan's toxic community. Ultimate Gooning Lord Dan Clancy is talking about testifying in front of Congress regarding Twitch radicalizing people into violence, and he says Twitch is not responsible at all. More streamers are exposing Dan Clancy for hanging out with 3 19-year-old e-girls, diabolical, and a bunch of more updates. Subscribe.
A bunch of more updates, man. Too many updates.
Now let's begin. So Hasan apparently zapped his dog and we had a ton of stuff go down. Now after all that, he said he wanted to quit streaming because of the backlash.
I hate fucking streaming. I want to shut everything off. I just want to go away.
Right, so now Hasan is calling out people for being duped by Collargate, basically still saying that everybody is lying and he didn't have a shock collar, and he also mentions his favorite politician.
Even his friends. Even his friends. By the way, this guy's an actual fucking terrorist. This guy on screen right here.
Zoran Mamdani, who recently actually disavowed him as well.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
I find the comments that Hasan made on 9/11 to be objectionable and reprehensible in this country.
Hasan
because he has to say that.
Calls out those who were duped by Collargate.
Like, look into that guy. He said some crazy shit. He was talking about shutting down a prison and setting 7,000 people free. Setting 7,000 criminals free into the streets. Not only that, he's basically wanting to turn New York into a Muslim country,
etc.
It's not even a significant problem for someone like myself. It's just at most going to do reputational damage to me for like a fucking week. And then people that hate me are going to use this as an opportunity to be like, oh, everybody hates you, lol. And then what? Okay, a week later, the Trump administration is going to continue doing its fucking fascism, and people.
Dude, he just can't help himself. He can't help himself to just. Is this what he does to keep people talking about him? Is this how he stays relevant? Has he figured out this is the key now? Because he was losing viewership very, very quickly. So he just has to make himself look like an even bigger retard than ever before.
They're going to realize, oh, wait a minute. Maybe we were wrong about this fucking dude. This has been my entire career. People get whipped up in a frenzy over nonsensical shit, whether it's because...
Dude, you're pro-terrorism. That's actually what the center of all of this is. Everything else is just extra.
Because I bought a fucking house, or whether it's because I leased a Porsche, or whatever the fuck. Or because they've imagined that I'm like abusing my dog by...
yeah, of course, it doesn't bring up the actual calls for violence and terrorism support.
You know, because she fucking sleeps behind me for extended periods of time. I can't believe dogs sleep in the same cot, you know? It's just people make up their minds and then they realize maybe they were duped. It is what it is. The reality of the matter is...
Nobody's saying that. Nobody is saying that they were duped. Nobody thinks this. Actually, more people are against Hasan on this than ever before. Like, what the fuck? He is actually hallucinating.
Hate that Zoran and I linked up is not because of my 2019 comments about 9/11. It's because I've been a proud, loud, fuck Israel
terrorism supporter.
advocate for the past 10 years, and it's been especially important.
Of course, it's
He actually glazes and loves Hamas and has said it so many times, and they are actually a terrorist organization deemed that by the government.
Israel, guys. It's in my walls. It's underneath my skin. This man is running on an AI script. It's
Actually, you know what? I'm going to move away from this video for a second because I want to talk about that guy.
New York, trying their absolute best to destroy the city in real time by, you know, appointing a mayor that's a communist, radical Islamist. But, you know, the government is doing their absolute best to cook New York in the best way possible, medium rare. So this is the Department of Homeland Security. New York's Canal Street is safer. You know why? Because 9 illegal aliens arrested have violent rap sheets, including robbery, burglary, domestic violence, assaulting law enforcement, counterfeiting, drug trafficking, drug possession, and forgery. This entire situation. But first, I need to show you exactly what's going on with the illegals in the country, because I do the breaking on the ground journalism that everyone needs. Definitely subscribe for some on the ground journalism. So these are Department of Homeland Security agents doing takedowns of illegals and rioters in New York City. That's right, baby. They've made it to New York. By the way, Zohran Mamdani, the guy who's probably going to be the next mayor of New York, directly said he wants to abolish prisons and feels like these people should not be they should not be in jail. He said jails make criminals sad, so therefore we should abolish all the prisons. Get him out! Deport! Bye! Bye! Damn. That's rough, buddy. Look, I'm a very simple man. A very simple man. If you come into the country illegally, you leave the country.
Yep.
Either yourself, or we make you leave with a sore butt. That's right. He's taking the sore butt route, and that's what's happening. If you F around, you do find out. 1750, 0.1%. I'm currently getting canceled on Twitter for being a racist, ladies and gentlemen. So I feel like now is the best time ever to take this moment and apologize. Psych! We are going to be doubling down, ladies and gentlemen.
Doubling down
on everything. We are being invaded, and I am going to make fun of idiots today. Zohran Mamdani got exposed. Mehdi Hasan is beefing with Matt Walsh. Dearborn, USA started going insane and chanting death to America.
They've been doing
Michigan. There's beef over the gigantic calls to prayer that happens 5 times a day coming out of mosques that people are complaining about. It gets crazier. Ireland is currently protesting because there was a immigrant from a nebulous background that had sex with a 10-year-old and was kind of protected by the government, and they were like, no, we're not all for that. So now they're protesting in Ireland.
Well, you can't have with a 10-year-old. It's only...
You have no idea what's going on, and this is going to be an absolutely diabolical video, all right? It's going to be beautiful. So this is Zohran Mamdani. You might recognize him by his snazzy suit and wide smile that he always has on his face, and it's totally natural. We are going to be talking about him today because he is currently running to become the mayor of New York City. Now, you're probably thinking, well, he's a good New Yorker. There's no reason...
Yeah, currently running, and he's probably going to win.
No reason to assume that there's anything suspicious going on with Zohran Mamdani. But this is an old clip from 2019 that reemerged. And let's just say, it makes you wonder a thing or two about his strategy.
There's still, this illusion, and it's partially a result of settler colonialism, that all of us can become New Yorkers, that all of us can settle into the city. And
there's an illusion that we could become New Yorkers. Interesting. What do you mean by illusion? I thought you were a New Yorker.
Yeah, right.
There would be these moments where I would be reminded by someone whose intent was to tell me that you do not belong.
So, what he's saying is, I'm not a New Yorker. I am not assimilating. You will assimilate to me. Quiet part out loud.
And one of those first moments was on 9/11.
And now he goes through a bunch of fake stories.
When, before I knew what had happened, My teacher had pulled me and a Muslim classmate of mine out of the class and told us that something has happened and you may be bullied. And I want you to tell me if that happens.
I just think it's funny that this guy is coming out against Hasan because they believe in all of the same shit. I think it's just because Hasan is an idiot and he just lets it be known too obviously what they're actually doing, what their plans are, so he calls him out and says that he's garbage. Let's go a little bit ahead.
The only clip of him that was recently unearthed. This is an old clip of him in a mask, of course, as he tends to be.
We came here to
Yeah, by the way, Hasan fucking loves this guy.
make this state in the image of our people.
You came here to remake the state in the image of your people? What
And
did
all of the people who are voting for him, I don't know what they're thinking, man. I do not know what they're thinking. This guy is not for them. They're just fucking retarded. I think they're just going for him because he's against the other guy that they don't like.
did he mean by that? Well, what did you mean? Did you mean some sort of colonialism? Maybe some sort of invasion, perhaps?
Right?
So that's the jizya tax. So no, they don't believe in coexistence, for the record. Now, let's make this clear. These people do not believe in coexistence.
No,
which is
they
why
do
they're
not.
literally kicking a Christian pastor out of the city for being like, yo, can we not name a street after a Hezbollah terrorist? The Dimmy? Whatever. Anywho, so this is an old clip where the Muslim mayor of Dearborn kicks a Christian pastor out of the city because he was like, yo, can we please not name a street after a terrorist? Now, the update is, this is what's going on in Dearborn now. This is what protesters were chanting in Dearborn.
We used to see videos like that were from like Iraq and Iran back in the day, back during the Bush era and the Obama era. But now we have let them into the country and are just letting them take over towns. And then they just are allowed to do stuff like that. And then you get disgusting people like this that are just for it.
Not a great look. The mayor condemned it. The White House condemned it. But what about Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib? She reps Dearborn.
Huh.
Is she okay with her constituents chanting death to America?
I wonder.
Fox Business correspondent Hillary Vaughn asked her. Watch.
Look at all the assimilation that we just saw.
Congresswoman Tlaib, Fox News. I don't talk to Fox News. At a rally in your district,
I don't
people
talk
were
to Fox
chanting death
News.
to America. Do you condemn?
Talk to Fox News.
But do you condemn chants of death to America?
I don't talk to people that use racist tropes.
What? Okay. Well, that's exactly what the Democrats do. So what the fuck are you talking about? She will only talk to like leftist media because they're not going to press her on stuff like this.
Why can't you just say whether or not you condemn people chanting death to America?
They're all the same. They're all the same. They will use your freedoms against you. 9/11 happened. You know, Zohran Mamdani most affected.
Yeah, all she had to say was, I don't talk to Fox News. Death to America is disgusting. That's all she had to do. She couldn't do that. These people are fucking violent freaks. It's a blood cult. It's a death cult.
Right? They're like, yo, could we please not name a street after a terrorist? Kicks you out of the city. It's like, yo, can you condemn chanting death to America? You must be racist.
Why are you afraid to talk to Fox?
Fox News is not listen, using racist tropes for
Dude, she doesn't even know what to say.
my community is what Fox
She doesn't know which lie that she wants to tell.
News is about, and I don't talk to Fox News.
Is death to America racist?
Fox News.
Is chanting death to America racist?
Talking about your guys' racist tropes. You know, you guys know exactly what you do. I know you're Islamophobic, but you guys got to go deal with it on your own self. You're not going to use me.
Yeah, that's right. You figure out the whole death to America thing yourself. I'm not going to condemn it. In fact,
And that's not being Islamophobic, but yeah, it gets worse.
Political structures that I have to work in, that we all are surrounded by, was built on slavery and genocide and rape and oppression.
Yawn.
Real change
Yawn.
doesn't come from the cowards and warmongers in Congress. It comes from the streets. It comes from all of us mobilizing and seizing the power to resist and fight back. Gaza is the compass. injustice in this country.
Wow! Oh my God! Oh Lord!
Now we're in Congress, and we're every corner of the United States. Look at this rooms, motherfuckers!
So that really kind of seems like someone is pretty pro Hamas, right? Pro terror.
When are we gonna get people actually chanting it? Like people in Congress, like leftists. When are they gonna start chanting that? I think it's coming soon. And I think it started with the Charlie Kirk stuff, and it's still going. Charlie Kirk stuff getting way worse. The rhetoric around it getting way, way worse. But let's go back to the Hasan Piker news, because I just wanted to show you that Hasan Piker loves these people. He loves all this shit. He's one of these types of leftoid freaks.
Crazy. You know, I can probably predict this guy's statements with like a 70 to 80% accuracy. That should not be possible with any human being, but with Hasan, he always reverts to the same thing. Israel, Asmongold, Ethan Klein. It's gotta be like something in that orbit.
Destiny.
Now he says something like people get
Holy shit, I knew he was gonna say that. Like, we know what the fuck is going on, dude.
Mad at him for anything, right? Like buying a $3 million mansion, but he leaves out the context that
Man, I feel like I'm on fire in this video.
claims to be a socialist who lives on a basic necessity budget.
I live on a basic necessity budget for the most part anyway.
This is what he claims, yet he still buys supercars, designer clothes, and all this expensive shit, but then he wants you to tax the rich, make the rich pay, and then we...
But that's not happening, guys. That's not happening. You're hallucinating it. It's such a non-issue.
Even had that interview where this guy confronted him about living up to his socialist ideals, right? Giving up his house and moving out of his mansion. And his response was, no, guys, please, we need to first take everybody else's money. First, we need the health care. First.
Hasan acts like that he lives in the same situation that I do, where I actually live on a basic necessity budget. And I live in a tiny little building in the backyard on a farm. Like, this is what socialism is, basically.
We need everything else, and then...
I'm not a socialist, by the way.
And you can come
Just
for
circumstance.
my mansions and my supercars, right? I'm a firm believer of socialism as long as it happens to everybody else first.
Oh, but if you had the money, Fables, wouldn't you live the same? No, I would not. I would not have a mansion, and I would not be buying expensive Porsches and shit like that. I'm not that kind of person. I'd probably have like a giant server room or something. I'd probably have like a DVD collection.
Now somehow he's still claiming that he doesn't mistreat his dog, like it sleeps behind me. I mean,
I would probably legitimately build a library and have like a dog farm.
Sleeping too, because if I'm awake, I would have nothing to do because I'm not even allowed to stretch my legs or take one step off of my bed without being electrocuted by Palpatine Piker here. You literally shocked the living shit out of her, so much so that she's literally confused at
Yep, hashtag never forget.
your commands and thinks that the only thing you want is to stay in place. It was absolutely evil, dude. Pure responded round 44 of Gasanabi, the gaslighter, gaslighting his viewers. But don't believe your eyes, the evidence, the testimonies, or nothing at all but me.
Gasanabi, that's funny because he wants to gas the...
Don't even believe Jellywig and his girlfriend. You don't even, like, your most loyal lapdogs have turned on you, and still apparently you can't admit it. It's not her sleeping behind you that's a problem, it's the fact that when she gets up to stretch, you shock her back into place. I mean, he knows that. He's purposely obfuscating so that his supporters get confused and they think that, oh, people are criticizing me because my dog is sleeping. Stupid dog, you made me look bad.
Yeah, it's like, they just for a split second, they're like, oh, is Hasan a bad person? And then Hasan will say some outright bullshit that they know isn't true, and they'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, man, I was almost against Hasan there, but he cleared that up for me.
On stream, Courage the Cowardly Dog Goated Show. Collargate Day 16, by the way.
Fuck. Pirate Software. I'm glad that whole situation's over.
And it's Hasan and Pirate Software melded together. They pretty much are acting the same. Moving on to...
Hasan's way worse because Pirate Software never supported terrorism. Unless you want to count payment processors and giant corporations killing games as terrorism, which could be considered cultural terrorism, I guess.
Hasan's community absolutely losing their minds at Ludwig. Now, basically last time, Ludwig called out Hasan, saying it's 100% a shock collar.
Do I think Hasan shocks his dog? I have no fucking clue. I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock.
Yep, it's the boy who cried wolf. Like, you lie too many times, man, then everything you say is a lie. Nobody believes any of it. So everything that you say, we automatically assume is the opposite. Not talking about Ludwig, I'm talking about Hasan. So, like, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. And he's not even saying, no, I don't think he shocked him. He says, I don't know. Which is good enough for me.
A shock collar?
And I find it hilarious because Ludwig said, it's not brave to call out Hasan. It's the easiest thing to do. Well, that aged
Yeah, I wonder why it's the easiest thing to do.
poorly. He's getting infinite backlash from these psychopathic freaks who think he turned on Hasan. Hasan fans are not taking the Ludwig news well, and it's like this massive freaking list.
I'm seeing posts on X about it. From big accounts.
Right, let's go through some of these. Him screwing over his own girlfriend's career because QT's on the podcast. He apologizes to Destiny being mad at him. Ludwig probably hates Hasan because he spends more time with his girlfriend. Gutless Yakubian devil.
What does that mean? Gutless Yakubian devil. Yakub is a figure in the mythology of the Nation of Islam and its offshoot. Okay. The term Yakubian primarily refers to concepts individuals associated with Yakub, a central figure in the mythology of the Nation of Islam. According to something NOI doctrine, Yakub was a black scientist who lived 6,600 years ago in Mecca and created the white race through a process of selective breeding called grafting. What the fuck? On the island of Patmos. Do people actually believe this? In modern usage, Yakubian has evolved. I hope I don't get like banned or something because I'm using that word, because I have no idea. Has evolved into internet slang often used derogatorily to describe white people. So you're just being fucking racist. You're just outright being racist. And we're the racists. And we're the Nazis. Okay. Right on, man. They're just using words that nobody knows the meaning of.
Implies that Ludwig thinks he's his IRL friend, abused his dog off stream, own girlfriend's a liar. Guy's friends with the dude who made AI core prawn deepfakes of women. And people wonder why Ludwig isn't
Judge a guy by what his friend did one time.
liked by a lot of people. Ludwig would kill a guy to avoid losing sponsors, saying I wouldn't even go to Hasan's funeral is crazy. And this is Haas Twitter, which is Hasan's Twitter community. This after Ludwig definitely says he owns a shock collar, would not call Hasan a friend, implied that socialism when you don't make money today. For someone who's a degree in journalism, not good at fact checking. I don't get Ludwig. He decides to dagger Hasan by saying it's 100% a shock collar and it's just a fact, and then immediately says I don't know after researching his TikTok For You page. Mother flipper, you know the dude. Your partner is at his house every week. Happened again. Ludwig tried to take the middle road only to fall into a rotten
partner. Like you can immediately like see who these people are by the language that they use.
Hey,
you mean his
needs to
wife?
grow some courage. Don't waste your time getting mad at Lud. He always loved throwing Hasan under the bus for the memes. Funniest part is no matter how many times he does it, he still gets called Hasan's dog. Ludwig making public allegations instead of just asking Hasan or QT is unbelievably gross. As a Hasanabe head and a Lud butt, I can confidently say Ludwig is just that dumb. If he's dumb enough to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars to scams, I think he's dumb enough to think that's a shock collar.
Okay. That's just a projection every fucking time, dude.
Sad. It's proven it's a shock collar. Oh my god, dude. Hasan Twitter community gotta be the dumbest people on the planet. Oh, it's so easy to call out Hasan. Look at this, brah. You're getting cooked so much, and even your girlfriend is getting cooked so much so that she's having a breakdown and wants to quit, dude. Ludwig is genuinely one of the most spineless people on Twitch, and I stay reminded why I never liked him. He always sits on the fence. It's exhaustingly pathetic. I hate this freaking guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts doing some right-wing grift considering how hard his numbers have been dropping. What are you even talking about?
That's like you're coping because his numbers aren't dropping. They're staying the same mostly, and sometimes they go up and then they go back down to being the same that they've been for a very long time. He's not growing very much, sure,
about, dude. Ludwig's doing well. And why
Yeah.
did he become a right-wing grifter?
Look at his
He
chat.
specifically said he agrees with Hasan's politics as well. This is just Hasan's community, bro. They turn on you instantly.
Yeah, and they lie and they say racist shit, but also they call everybody racist. They call white people Nazis. It's fucking crazy.
And the thing is, what he said was factual. He said it is a shock collar because it's proven to be a shock collar. He didn't even say Hasan shocked the dog. It's absolutely crazy, bro. Moving on to Asmongold, talking about Hasan's community, and this is referencing the whole Ludwig situation and the endless harassment. Asmon says that Hasan's community is easily the most toxic he's dealt with and compares them to Destiny. I'll even give my experience with them as well.
Do you think that the most vicious, personal, and hostile forms of hate that I've had leveraged at me over all the years has absolutely been from Hasan's community? And it is not even remotely close. Like 100%, his community has been the most toxic and hostile. And again, if somebody else wants...
Yeah, if anybody wants to come into my comments, they're gonna get roasted, dude. You're gonna get roasted by me because you're absolutely fucking brain cooked and you're a degenerate.
To give their opinion on this or whatever else, that's fine. But when you have Dr. K saying this, you have, or at least indirectly, you have Ludwig saying this indirectly. I mean, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, how many points on a line or on a graph do you need to make a line? Yeah, that's it. It's the left overall. It is. It's left-wing people overall. And I think that his community...
Yeah, I don't like to call them left-wing. I like to call them leftoids.
...is a conduit for that. And you're right that in some ways it's guilt by association. And I think in some cases, maybe you're right. Maybe that's not necessarily fair to him because it is guilt by association. But I think that other left-wing communities, like, for example, like Destiny's community has been hostile to me, but they have been... Destiny's community is a lot different. And I can't speak to... I know Hasan and Destiny have, like, a lot more personal... like.
Yeah, Destiny's chat, Destiny's community, they're more of, like, sex freaks degenerates, and Hasan has more of the terrorist degenerates.
Friction than like I and Destiny have really had over the years, I would say. So like there's not really that same level of animosity. But when Destiny's community attacks me, they attack things that I say. When Hasan's community attacks me, they attack who I am. They come after me, my lifestyle, my appearance, my parents, stuff like that.
Happens in the gaming community too. Like if I come out and say that I don't like a game, or I think that a game looks like it's got some DEI woke shit in it, or the people at the company are woke and DEI, dude, they will like go into my profiles, find pictures of me and post it and then laugh at me and like, oh, I can't believe this guy is making fun of DEI when he looks like this. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you straight up went into my profile to find old pictures of me when I was, like, 20. Like, you people are fucking insane. Like, seriously, hold on. You gotta see this. So, I just made a joke. I made a joke. I actually don't even actually believe this now. I do believe that IGN does give an extra point because they say that they do this. But, like, holy shit, man. When you 28 replies. Let's check them out, shall we? IGN sucks and this article sucks, but I just did some digging and I think the score is right. Might play this one. Looks way better than the first one. Also, you people don't know me. Shut the fuck up. It's weird how dumb people are nowadays using the acronym DEI in this context. Okay, this guy tries to explain DEI to me and is talking about DEI from 1929 and it doesn't even make any fucking sense. Do you idiots even know what DEI means? Okay, sure, why not? This guy's based. It's usually about 4 extra for DEI slop. And then you get 5 people jumping in on it. Oh, little boy, I'm not the one crying here. You're so inadequate that you haven't stopped crying. Weird way to admit the internet that algae is smarter than you. Like, I come in and I just say a joke. And these people freak the fuck out. This got to be a bot. That's kind of funny. Sure, I see that all the time. It's kind of lost its humor. Yeah, dude, every game should have white, muscular, half-naked men. That's what makes good games good, I guess. What the fuck are you talking about? Need help foisting your clan flag on the pickup buddy. DEI is used as a generic badge to suggest two things. You hate anybody that isn't white, or you think they're not qualified for the positions they got just because they're something other than a straight white man. This person's fucking stupid. 9 out of 10 times, it's the main character of the game that's not competent enough and needs their help to get things done. What the fuck are you talking about? Go back to playing Nintendogs if you hate humans in your game so much, fragile little man. Because after first act, you wake up from a dream, you in the back of a horse-drawn cart being led to... Whoa! See? It's really just a re-release of Skyrim. Like, what the fuck? Uh-oh. Is there a black person in the game or a woman? Please tell me. It's like, these people are fucking ridiculous. They live in a completely different world. About a video game, by the way. A video game that I'm probably going to play and enjoy. Like, holy shit.
And that's Destiny's community. Now they attack your family. Yes, exactly. It's personal. Now, whenever you talk about like Destiny's community, I think that they're much more like, oh, but you said this and you said that. And maybe you think it's a bad faith interpretation, but it's generally based on something that's said, not personal, right?
Okay, to be fair, Destiny's community is pretty unhinged, all right? They defend him literally admitting that he likes 15-year-old girls and having illegal material. Pretty much anytime I mention Destiny, there's like a defender in the comments. There's only like 1 or 2, and they're not as bad as Hasan, but, you know, I thought it's worth a mention. Now, Hasan's community is still way worse, right? It is the worst thing I've ever encountered on God's green earth, right? How has he recruited the literal biggest psychopaths in the entire universe? He's got like a magnet or something that like detects their DNA and brings them to his community. And speaking as someone who's covered freaking Mr. Beast, right? Literally the biggest YouTuber in the entire world with the biggest fan base in the entire world. And I was one of the biggest guys clowning on him at the time, right? And even him, who can literally basically command countries at this point, right? I didn't get a fraction of the hate that I get from simply covering Hasan, right? So Hasan's community is literally thousands of times.
Dude, when I was talking shit about Mr. Beast, you know the hate comments I was getting from Mr. Beast fans? It was, you're wrong, you're an idiot. I don't care. I like Mr. Beast. I'm gonna keep watching him. And I'm like, okay, sure, you do that. Like, I don't care either.
Times smaller, right? Infinitely smaller than Mr. Beast, but it still has more crazy people in it, and more people harass you over that. Just think about that. The amount of sociopathic freaks you have to have in your community to actually overcome that giant of a number difference, right? And the thing is, nobody will ever understand this unless you are one of the creators who covers Hasan, right? I mean, just ask Ethan, like what happened to him, right? What he thinks of Hasan's community, right? Buddy has been dealing with the absolute worst of it. I'm like number 15 in the list, right? First is like, we got Ethan, Asmongold, Tectone, all these people they go after first. Also, again, the Ludwig clip. It's not brave to call out Hasan. Play the clip.
Pretending to live in a universe where it is like brave to speak out against Hasan. Truly, I think it's pathetic.
Hasan's community makes Destiny's community look civilized, and that's saying a freaking lot. Now, turns out they were harassing QT Cinderella as well because she decided to mention Asmongold while also saying that she completely disagrees with him. What you are dealing with is exactly what Ethan experienced the second he disagreed 1% with Hasan, and now it's happening to Ludwig and QT, and they're finally starting to see how.
Yep, I hope that they don't break and they just apologize and side with Hasan all over again. I hope I kind of hope it gets worse for them so they can see what the fuck everybody else has been dealing with.
Insane Hasan has been all along, and they have gotten the protection, right? Because if you're on Hasan's side, his community doesn't go after you. So they're oblivious to how absolutely insane these people are, and yeah, you're finding out firsthand. Moving on to Ethan talking about QT. QT tweeted this: being optimistic is equal to being a spineless fence-sitting bitch. Thanks for the heads up, everybody. And I don't know exactly what she's referring to here because she deleted a bunch of tweets, but it seems that it's probably the
Dude, don't be deleting tweets, you absolutely fucking dumb bitch. Holy shit. Do not be deleting tweets. Like, at least, like, what I would do, if I say something wrong, I'd repost it and be like, guys, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, come on.
Asmongold situation where she was optimistic about his show with Aiden Ross, and she was basically saying that it could be like a good and unique thing, a separate thing from her show, and Hasan fans and potentially her own community went absolutely crazy on her because you know, you can't
yeah, now they're gonna go absolutely crazy on anything that she's gonna say, and you can't be for anything Asmongold does. You can't be talking to Asmongold.
talking to the wrong
Yep,
side, you know?
yep,
You can't be
yep.
even mentioning their name, they're Voldemort. Ethan responds, I really think people should lay off QT. She's in an impossible position no matter what side you think she's taking. She seems like a very nice person that got unfortunately mixed up in a volatile situation. I honestly agree, like, people should be leaving her alone because she did nothing wrong in this particular situation. Like, she just mentioned Asmongold.
Yeah, like even with people that were against QT because she was, you know, siding with Hasan, she wasn't noticing. She didn't care. Like, and it's not like we were actually saying anything horrible. But holy shit, Hasan's fans, that it's so fucking insane. And they actually call for your death and call for violence with wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean? They don't say it, but they say it in a way that it can't be, it's not obvious to a court. But everybody fucking knows. Everybody knows. Like that comment that I showed you from Facebook on that Outer Worlds thing that I just showed you earlier. I'm talking about drawing me behind a horse for my execution.
Like, come on. She didn't even support him or any of his views or anything like that, right? In fact, she did valuable work for us. She exposed Hasan for having a shock collar, right? Maybe not intentionally, but hey, she's our secret undercover agent, you know, working against Hasan.
By the way, that was just one instance. It happens all the fucking time, dude. I get death threats constantly. Usually they're more open about it. And guess what? Facebook doesn't do shit about it. I try and like report these people and it's like, Facebook's like, sorry, we didn't find anything wrong with this. And I just don't think that their reporting system actually even works. I think it's just there so they can pretend that they have a reporting system.
Hasan gonna call her the Mossad and Israel operative, obviously.
Oh, why do you use Facebook then, Fables? Dude, I use everything. Fuck off.
But anyways, this is just what you deal with when you deal with Hasan. I appreciate the side of Ethan. He knows when too much is too much. Meanwhile, the people who hate him want his total destruction or death. Weird. I was told it's his primary goal in life to send unprovoked misogynistic hate campaigns towards any woman who associates with Hasan. His fan base is literally majority women as well. Like, that's the stupidest argument ever.
No, there's no shock. Like, the electric prongs are taken out of it.
But here's my thing. This is very interesting because I think a lot of Hasan fans perceive this as an attack. What I see is just someone who is put into this position by Hasan because he's perpetually lying, where she is just telling what happened, kind of in a sense to defend herself. Because, like, why should she, someone who's honest and has a good reputation and, you know, is not trying to lie about animal abuse and this kinds of stuff, why should she have to lie, right, about what she knows? So this is someone who's just being honest. I don't believe she's trying to attack Hasan.
I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock collar based off what's on my For You page. Maybe I'm getting psyoped. He's adamant that he hasn't shocked her, but that 100% is a shock collar as a fact.
So just like this simple act of acknowledging observable reality is like a radical notion if you're in Hasan's orbit.
Yep.
Like this.
It's not just Hasan's orbit, man. It is the entire fucking left. Even Ethan himself does this. He's just not as bad about it. I think he's slowly being pushed on the right, and he doesn't even know it because the left is going so far left that anything that is not one of these leftoid freaks is right-wing Nazi.
It was somehow shocking to everybody to see Ludwig say, yeah, no, he's lying.
And I think when you come in and you say, oh, no, you're going to get the song call now, I think, like, you are, you are still pretending to live in a universe where it is, like, brave to speak out against Hasan.
I will say, respectfully disagree with him here, just by the fact that him and Cutie are now being dragged as Zionists in immediate response to describing observable reality. So, again, like, he makes this statement, I guess, to defend himself, be like, I'm not afraid to criticize Hasan. And also, you're insane, he says, if you think people care that I criticize Hasan, which was immediately proven to be not correct. And that
yeah, I wonder if he's going to say anything about all of the Hasan fan harassment. Probably not.
Unfortunately, I have the feeling that they're both getting kind of a front row seat to what Hasan's audience puts people through.
Yeah, they never had to experience it before, like everybody else.
When they cross him.
All the normal
people. It should be quite obvious to people now who are paying attention that it was never about Israel, right? It was about criticizing Hasan. That's the only reason you would call Ludwig or Cutie Cinderella a Zionist. This madness.
Oh my god, are they really calling him and her like a Zionist now?
Yep.
Brother, it's
Dude, I've been seeing it everywhere.
gotta be Israel, right? Bro, the level of brain rot, I have never seen this, dude. It's unbelievable how people can be this stupid. And we definitely got like a new meme with Ludwig, dude. It's not brave to call that us up. Bro, like, it was such a dumb thing to say. Moving on to a Hasan fan raging at Ludwig, and they attempt to show that Hasan is a good friend and completely backfires. Going back, it seems like Hasan tried hard to be his friend, but Ludwig is just an a-hole. As someone who was backstabbed by one of his best friends for years, I feel bad for Hasan. Shit's fucked. F Ludwig.
When were they like actually best friends? They were work acquaintances, basically.
When Lug got hit by me in my car when he was on his Vespa, I texted him, "Hey, I hope you're doing all right, King." No response. Does this dude hate me? What the fuck? You too. You both. I always will hit you guys up to be like, "I hope you guys are doing well." Dead. Nothing. I am a good friend who is constantly. I'm defeating the allegations of autism, and Hasan is not around. I literally am trying my fucking very best.
I'm not a texter.
You are cold.
Dude, he is putting them on the spot. This is such a shitty thing to do. On a show, by the way. He could just have a conversation with them. But he's got to call them out in front of the world. What a shitty thing to do, man.
Bitch, that's what you are. Okay? I text you anytime you're like in a bad mood. I'll be like, "Oh, is everything good?" No response.
Right, so over all the years, right, that was this person's example of Hasan being a good friend. So let me get this straight. I don't know if I heard that wrong. So Hasan hit Ludwig with his car.
I remember that.
He's supposed to be the good friend for asking him if he's okay? Brother, you're the one who hit him. Obviously, you're going to ask if he's okay. That's the least thing you could do if you didn't hospitalize him. You absolute ignoramus. Like, this is the smartest Hasan fan right here, dude. This dumbass Glazer posted this as an example of Hasan being a good person by hitting his friend with a literal car, bro. Cinema. Just
Yeah, dude, I bet the situation when it happened, it was fucking retarded. Like, how do you just hit a guy on a Vespa with a car? Of course Hasan would be that dumb to do that.
cinema. And by the way, Ludwig probably didn't respond because you freaking hit him, bro. Like, I would be pretty pissed as well. If you got backstabbed for doing something as bad as shocking your dog and deplatform anyone who dares to speak against you, you deserved it. You got backstabbed by him not even knowing anything, by believing dumbasses like you who make 10-second clips saying things happen in it that aren't happening. Brother, the evidence is there. Have you seen the overlay? Have you seen the model? What model shock collar did he use then? Like, if you're gonna talk like this, you need to back it up with facts and evidence. But that's apparently fucking like gives Hasan fans a rash. Like,
dude, the leftoids in general, they cannot provide facts and evidence. They just say shit. To be fair, a lot of people on the right do it too, like Candace Owens. They'll just say shit and not show you.
Hormonal rash, they gotta be rushed into the emergency room. Anything but facts and logic. Oh no. This is so embarrassingly parasocial, dog. I feel bad he said the truth about the shock collar. I mean, it's like, it's so insane. And I'm so glad that Ludwig and QT are actually seeing how Hasan's community operates in real time. This is what we've been saying all along. And slowly, one by one, we are converting people. Slowly, through sheer evidence of Hasan's wrongdoings, we are slowly converting everyone onto the right side of history and making them see the truth that was in front of their faces this entire time. Subscribe, guys. The Legendary series is actually making the greatest impact ever. Now, also last time I said that I would officially change by royal decree the Jellywig nickname to something like Bonewig or Ludwig again if he turned on Hasan and made a mogul mail video destroying him. But he did not actually do that. This was like the most room temperature, super late, safe opinion, and I don't think
And it was still fucking way too much for Hasan's audience, apparently.
Warrants a nickname change. I feel like you don't get the pass that easy after supporting Hasan all this time, right? And also, I just love saying Jellywig. Okay, it's my
Jelly
favorite word, so I'm keeping it. All right, actually, second favorite word. My first favorite word is obviously diabolical.
Yeah,
okay,
I knew he was gonna say
favorite. Moving on to the rank #1 gooner, Dan the Dynamic Diddler Clancy. Now, remember how Dan Clancy was supposed to testify in front of Congress on October 8th for Twitch radicalizing people into political violence?
Yeah, I do remember that. And apparently it was postponed indefinitely.
And this was after the Charlie Kirk assassination, and people were looking into what sort of rhetoric actually caused that assassination. And the conversation shifted to people like Hasan, who were advocating to murder their political opponents. Well, that whole meeting was actually postponed, and Dan has responded now. Dan Clancy says he's not too worried about a potential congressional hearing, and that Twitch doesn't have a radicalization problem.
Okay. Okay, you can think that if you want. Sure. It's not true.
And of course, it's the wonderful interviewer, Taylor Lorenz.
Why do you think that you guys got dragged into that when it was like sort of following the Charlie Kirk shooting? There didn't seem to be any connection.
There's no connection. I think it's purely what I'll call is company association. They need some number of N people. If you did a cluster of companies that, end up having...
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Clancy. Actually, I want you all to know something. Here, I'm going to try and find it again. I'm going to bring up Nux again. Yeah, here we go. I found it. All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, I need sound. Where's my sound? Why is there no sound? Well, there's no sound on this. Okay, well, let's just read it. Nux Taku says someone in the government reached out to him about Hasan in preparation for the congressional hearing. Asked if I could provide evidence behind these bullet points, and I complied. I was more than happy to assist in any way that I can. How about that? That's crazy, right? That's crazy.
Having users that overlap, and you had Reddit and Discord and Steam, and you say, tell me the fourth company, and you can't mention one of the big ones because you have to have balance. You can't mention X or Facebook or YouTube. Then it's like, well, what's the fourth? So it's proximity. I don't think, to me, I'm not that worried about it because I think, he had no experience. We do not have this problem of radicalization on Twitch.
Dude, does he just not know? Does he just not know, or does he just not care that Hasan Piker is a terrorist supporter, and so are all of his orbiters? You know what they all say.
Public forum, we don't have these private groups. One way to think of it is if you really...
Well, that's true. They're not private groups. They're out front. They're out in public. They let it be known constantly.
View this from a honest and sincere perspective. These things are trying to get information, and to be honest, they probably don't know that much about Twitch.
Yeah.
Right? They're not
True.
Twitch users. So I feel really good that we have, in terms of them trying to understand this landscape, they'll realize, oh, Twitch doesn't really fit with these other ones.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're talking about a group of lawmakers that probably don't know how to turn their computers on, so I don't know how familiar they are with Twitch. I mean, it seems like...
That's a big
first
problem.
Off, Taylor Lorenz calling anybody old is hilarious. Oh, these boomers don't know how to turn their computers on. Have you seen yourself? Oh my god. You're thirsting after a guy a decade younger than you. It is diabolical, okay? You need to stop. You need to get a grip. We can see you dripping, all right? Second off, interesting how Dan says there's no connection between Twitch and political violence, okay? Even though there's open terrorist support on his platform, open anti-Semitism. Keep in mind, Mike from PA was banned for 1 week for literally, saying that thing about Jews, which got my video flagged that I can't even say. That's how bad it is. Also, I must point out again, Charlie Kirk was literally Hasan Piker's debate opponent. It happened 2 weeks before the debate, okay? Hasan has openly talked about unaliving his political enemies, the classic K. Rick Scott.
You would kill Rick Scott.
And his community spams literal hearts for a shooter and a terrorist who kills innocent people. And this guy is absolutely radicalizing people into political violence. It's not even a question. It's just a matter of Twitch not enforcing their own rules.
I actually think that, no, it is true that they're not radicalizing people. They have already been radicalized.
It's effing crazy that DJ Dan Clancy said, well, we give Emiru tools like moderation and blocking to prevent something like what happened to her. Don't worry, guys. If a stalker has never typed in chat, Dan Clancy thinks nothing can be done to prevent SA. His response to that was the most disgusting thing ever. He was just like, she should have banned him from chat, as if that would do anything. Like, he's so stupid. We don't have a radicalization problem. I believe I'm going to have to disagree with you. We don't have a radicalization problem. Q Hasan saying he stands 10 toes down in support of a terrorist organization. Which one? Which one? We got multiple here. I would love to see Dan Clancy watch a couple of Hasan clips where he calls innocent people pedophiles, rapists, and other derogatory terms, and explain to everyone why it's not against Twitch policy, but calling someone fat is. Dude,
The problem is, it actually is against Twitch policy, and they're just not banning him because that's the golden boy.
Logic with Twitch moderation is gotta be the thing that drives you completely insane. Like, this shit has been pissing us off for so long, and I'm like so sick of this guy, dude. Moving on to more streamers exposing Dan Clancy for apparently going after 19-year-old girls. Hey You Video Game talks about his Dan Clancy TwitchCon experience, immediately stops by 3 19-year-old e-girls. Keep in mind, last time streamer Skara also talked about how Dan was hanging with these young girls. Now, he did say it was a rumor, but this guy is basically confirming that rumor.
I saw Dan Clancy and he thought about going on stage, and there's the one time I talked to Dan Clancy was at this party, and he was going to go on stage while Will was DJing. He kind of peeked, and I said, I think you're allowed to go up there, Mr. Clancy. Of all the people, I think you can go up on stage. And he was like, "Oh, I want to say hi to my friends first." And he
To his
walking,
friends.
and he
All of his friends are 18 to 20-year-old e-girls. How about that?
immediately stops by
And Hassan Piker.
3 19-year-old e-girls. And all the memes you see about that, let me tell you, I saw Dan probably 20 times. All right? And let me tell you, Dan, I mean, it's not a secret. The man, it's out there. All right? I'm not putting Dan on blast. Everybody
He's not providing new information here.
already knows. I'm just confirming what everybody already knows. Dan Clancy, he's
a gooning lord.
He's
Disgusting.
Natural friend makers. A natural friend maker with e-girls. Yeah, that was that's what happened, all right? I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's nothing weird about that, right?
And that's what happened. That's one way to say it. This is Dan. I'm streaming in Dan's world. All right, we're all part of Dan's world. I'm just trying to, I don't want anybody to send a clip to Dan and then suddenly Clancy, I got the eyes of Clancy on me. He seems like a really good guy. He just seems to really be into e-girls.
Yeah, and he is just allowing terrorist support on the platform. Hasan is his favorite streamer, by the way. He said it.
Is interesting. Very interesting. Dan, don't ban me. I just said it. I just said it's interesting.
Oh, it is very interesting. So you're telling me Dan Clancy, whose phone we know is filled with e-girls that he is obviously gooning to, is actually meeting them in real life. Interesting information. So let's just go over what this guy said, right? Apparently Dan was hanging out with 3, not 1, not 2, not 0, not his wife, but 3 19-year-old e-girls. Not 20, 19-year-old. That is absolutely diabolical, okay? That is dastardly. Now, this guy is 61 with a wife and kids. Now, I'm not going to claim anything else, obviously, because I don't know. There's no evidence that anything is actually going on, but it's just weird behavior as it is. Why are you doing this?
I think he's just gooning. He might not be sleeping with them, but I think he is gooning.
Hanging out with all these young girls when you're triple their age.
But I don't know. Having that Roblox chain around his neck, that's pretty fucking sus.
Just horrible optics. And you are not a random old man. You are
These people are so out of touch with like culture and reality to the point where you were wearing a Roblox chain around your neck while literally everybody was putting Roblox on blast for child exploitation. And it seems like he's really into that.
CEO of Twitch, all right? A CEO of Twitch. On Twitch's platform, there's a bunch of these e-girls streaming all the time. And it seems like you are using your power as a CEO, right? To get in the good graces with these e-girls, right? Creepily hanging out with a bunch of teen girls. That you have nothing in common with. Now, this guy goes further and he says he saw you 20 times. Now, maybe he's exaggerating a little bit, but he saw you a lot of times, right? He says it's not even a secret. It's a well-known thing. And we've obviously seen Dan Clancy hanging out with his favorite streamer, Extra Emily, as well, right? Now, she's not a 19. I don't know. She's much older, but
she's like 30.
He's a natural friend maker of e-girls, apparently, right? So it feels like he's using his CEO title to get up close and personal. It's this weird power dynamic. You're the CEO, you're their boss. It's just yuck. It's yuck. It's horrible optics for Twitch as a company and makes you look like a weirdo, even if what you were doing is completely
like, even with all of that aside, he already looks like a weirdo.
innocent. Wait, a streamer is defending creepy Dan Clancy like his entire career depends on it? I'm shocked. Why is Dan on FaceTime with an e-girl only to desperately hide when he realizes he's on camera? Gooner Goblin. So that one, I don't think he was actually hanging out with that e-girl. Apparently they were just gonna like say hi or something like that. But I don't think it makes it any better at all.
No, it does not matter because he's just always being approached by e-girls because it's probably known like, hey, if you approach Dan Clancy, if you're a hot e-girl, then you might get some clout off of it. Well, that's exactly what happened here in this situation because everybody knows what Dan Clancy is all about.
62
Fuck yeah, Camelcast, let's go. I love Camelcast.
Year-old millionaire is quickly friends with 19-year-olds. Little different when they're your employees. Natural friend maker with 19-year-old girls when he has power over the social media platform that can make or break their careers. Totally normal, guys. Totally normal.
I actually cannot believe that Camelcast had a tweet represented in a More Pegasus video. Dude, it's like everything's connected.
Nothing to see here, obviously.
Like, I'm in Camelcast chat all the time. I watch his stream like every night. That's crazy.
This is so incredibly icky and gross. Friend maker, the girls allow it because they expect a payday. Might get some extra gifted subs from old Dan here. Might get a little boost in viewership, a boost in revenue, extra ads or something like that. Like, you never know. They're probably just entertaining it because, you know, you're the CEO, dude. Moving on to Ethan calling out the Hasan defense squad. Straight nonsense. Quit hounding Hasan Piker over his dog collar. Valuable journalism here.
Dude, anybody that's like saying this shit, anybody's like, stop talking about the dog collar. It's just making it worse. Like, Hasan needs to tell people to shut the fuck up. Stop making articles about him, trying to defend him. He needs to tell people to stop trying to defend him and just forget about it. And then also Hasan needs to stop talking about it. Because everybody keeps making it worse. And we're just eating it up, man. We're just reposting it, making the memes because the left can't meme, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a new concept.
Fellas.
I mean, I don't even need to read the article. It's just, they're like, stop. He already debunked it, you guys. He has more important stuff to talk about. Okay, great. Yeah, let's keep sweeping for Hasan. No matter how much he... Does it not concern you that he just lies?
Everybody... No, they don't care. They probably do know. Or they don't. They're that fucking retarded.
He loves him, bro. That's what I'm realizing. It seems like people just will look the other way. I don't see what the power is.
And they're just posting Hasan fan accounts. Here you go, freaks, of him being like... By the way, now, as you watch this clip, and this is cited in this article as evidence that he didn't do it, recall now that a few days later, he says the dog wasn't actually even wearing the collar. So, take this in.
This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one. This is the one that they saw.
This is the one they saw.
But now that's not the one we saw?
Nope, she wasn't wearing it.
I'm confused.
And it really wasn't even tight because her hair is so freaking thick. But it bothered him.
That's exactly what Hasan said. That's crazy. Because that's not what you said.
Look at Taylor. She's like, yes.
I know, dude.
Yes, girl.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's hard to watch with her like nodding vigorously.
She's loving this.
Her collar was too tight. And so we even had a follow-up conversation about it. So when
yeah, this isn't journalism. This is sniffing each other's farts. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? You're supposed to not have an opinion. You're supposed to, like, gather facts and post about the facts and not be opinionated. You're not a journalist at that point. You're just a fucking talking head.
I saw the whole thing about her.
Are you there? Is anybody there?
Stop! I can't. I've been looking at this the whole time.
Taylor's.
Then after that, we went and filmed a podcast, and she sat under the table of the podcast. It's not like he's
Kayla Lorenz is definitely playing like a Hasan love scene in her head, right? Fantasizing that one day Hasan will call me over. It'll be the sun will be shining, the birds will be chirping, and he'll finally confess that he's been in love all along. All of her 25 years of nonstop simping and glazing will finally pay off. Get a grip, lady. You're dripping all over the screen. It's disgusting. Ew. Then he responds to Hasan calling him out.
I actually didn't spend the last 2 years defending genocide. Everyone was lying about it. Who gives a fuck what that lunatic has to say?
Do you think he actually thought that was that funny?
Dude, what kind of laugh is that?
I mean, you know, is he really that amused? Okay, great. Listen. Obviously, disagree with everything you're saying, And obviously, you are the main spreader of this malicious lie that has caused untold trauma to me and my family. But nonetheless, that has nothing to do with the fact that you electrocuted your dog. So if you could address that, that'd be great.
I make a good apology video. Just be honest. Don't try and think that you can trick the internet, because you can't. People are smarter than you think, and they'll see through all this bullshit. It's easier for me to say this looking back, of course, but it might be a good lesson for everyone out there.
We've got him. He's a liar. He's always been a liar. He lies about political opponents because he thinks that it's morally justified to lie and slander people if they are political opponents, because it helps his cause and his.
Yep, the ends justify the means, and the means are everybody's dead except for his little circle that he's in, full of terrorist freaks. But guess what? That's just gonna lead to them all being dead too, because they're all gonna kill each other, because they're all freaks. They're just like parasocial online in a chat. If they actually met each other in real life and had to spend time with each other, they'd realize, oh shit, I fucking hate you and I hate myself.
That's what he thinks. And this is obviously not something I subscribe to. I think it's evil. I think it's disgusting. I think this is why people believe that I've supported genocide and the fallout from it.
Bro, PewDiePie is the absolute GOAT. You know, he literally had
True.
it right all those
Yep.
years ago. That
Uh-huh.
you should just be upfront and honest.
Man, I'm just waiting for the day that I'm gonna have to make one of those apology videos.
The internet is actually smart enough to figure out all of the bullshit, right? Exactly like what happened with Hasan's shock collar, right? He tried to lie and it didn't work. And I know he's in retirement and enjoying his life with his family and stuff, but imagine the cinema if he came back just to shit on Hasan.
No,
bro.
please.
That would be the
Oh, dude, he's not gonna, because he just doesn't want to be involved in all that. But that would be absolute cinema. He would immediately be labeled as a Nazi because of the way he looks and the way his family is. He's just a normal dude, and he's got a whole bunch of money, and he moved out of the country to like.
greatest thing in the entire universe. Honestly, never gonna happen, but you know, a man can dream, just like Taylor Lorenz, obviously.
We have AI now. We can make him say it.
But till then, you just gotta deal with me, all right? Maybe one day. Moving on to NYC mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa, and he's like cooking Hasan.
There it is. You see Hasan get cooked on Twitter by the New York City dude? I did. I saw it. The New York debate happened yesterday, and Hasan was tweeting, Curtis Sliwa, we must send minors to prison.
Context. It's personal for me. My oldest son, Anthony, was the victim of a vicious gang assault.
Bro,
And
everyone
what
is
happened to
constantly
these
beating this guy and
juveniles?
his family.
I almost lost my oldest son to gang violence, and the perpetrators went to family court and got a little pat on the wrist and was sent home to do it again and again. We need to start charging juveniles who commit violent crime in criminal court, and I'll appoint criminal court judges who follow the law and don't just release them because of no cash bail.
Clear difference between you on that.
Curtis Sliwa, we must send minors to perma jail. That's crazy.
Yes. Yes, we should. If they fucking commit violence and kill people, yes. Send them to prison. If they kill people, send them there permanently.
I didn't know this guy. I had no idea who this guy was. But then I saw that he said if they commit violent crimes in a furtherance of street gangs, yes. And then he even goes farther and he says, and people who abuse their animals too, by the way.
Fucking based. Holy shit. What's that guy? Curtis Sliwa? Curtis Sliwa. I'm gonna follow that guy. It's time to take our city back. Let's do it together. What is this, dude? Oh, I have the tab muted.
But this is a battle. I just got off the debate stage. I won the debate again. But this is a battle. Up until November 4th, we got to get the vote out. We've got to start early voting this Saturday. I'm going to be the first to vote because our mission that I've shared with all of you is to make New York City safe again, to have
Fuck yeah, dude.
affordability again, and naturally to give everyone an opportunity at the American dream. But the only way we can do that is if you come out and vote. You get your friends and neighbors and others to vote, and you got to start Saturday with early voting right on up to November 4th. We can.
This guy is based. As I was saying, you're welcome. As I said, I am the NYC narrative. Others just pick up my crumbs. Okay. Yeah, man. Well, I'm definitely following this guy.
Oh my God. I was not familiar with him at all. This dude's wild. Who is this guy?
That's an almost 10x ratio. It's over.
Did somebody say it's over? Okay, I need to stop doing that. All right.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
It's just something that activates inside me. But yeah, Hasan getting called
Yep.
out for
He's
mistreating his
over.
dog is a massive
It's done.
W. I have no idea who this guy is, by the way. Whatever policies he supports or whatever. No idea. No idea. But anyways, more attention and more problems for Hasan. As long as like more mainstream people start calling him out, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Brings him one step closer to the cockroach cell with Soycock destiny. Hasan's animal abuse is the most mainstream thing about him, and that's amazing. Shock, 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 my dog.
Yeah, I wish the pro-terrorism would the terrorism support would be the most mainstream thing about him. That's crazy that for some reason news media on both sides just don't care about like streamers. They don't care about actual culture because probably they don't know anything about it because they're old people. They're not involved in the streaming culture. So they just don't know. They don't understand it.
I can't stop. So somebody made like a music video about it. The memes have been legendary. I think I get referenced.
I saw
as
that
well.
music
I'm not
video.
Too sure, but yeah, the memes are amazing. I support it. Now click this video to have the most epic day ever. Thank you for.
Woo! It's the best day ever! Donate to the Fables Folly Farm.